My interest in plants started during my A-level biology course when our teacher asked us to write an essay that was about the adaptations of succulents in the desert. And it was the first opportunity I'd had to really sort of read around a topic in plant science. And I just found it really exciting how plants have adapted to their different environments. And I found that so cool. And up until that point, I was really only aware of sort of photosynthesis as a subject in plant science. And it kind of opened my understanding of plant sciences as a research topic. I actually started off in studying biochemistry because I knew that although I was really interested in plants, it was more the molecular biology of plants that I was really specifically interested in, because I wanted to know why processes happened as well as what those processes were. And I thought that having that grounding in biochemistry would really help me to understand more deeply why plants are so cool, basically. So yeah, I started off studying biochemistry for my undergrad, and then I did the summer school in my first year, and it was there that we had a lecture by Professor Sarah O'Connor talking about natural metabolites and biosynthesis pathways. And it was after that that I ended up doing a year in industry project in her lab, looking at combinatorial biosynthesis, which was really cool. And it was from there that I really decided that I wanted a career in plant research. So after I graduated, I did a PhD in plant cell wall biosynthesis at the University of Cambridge. And that was very different to what I'd done during my undergrad. And I actually started off in a lab that was totally different, looking at more sort of human biology and signaling pathways, but then realized, because at that point I wasn't sure if I was more interested in the biochemistry or the plant science. And then I realized that really it was both. And it was from then that I then changed the labs initially in my PhD to looking at plant cell wall biosynthesis, because that combined both elements of the biochemistry and the plant science that I really enjoyed. Currently, I'm working on a really diverse range of organisms, and really the only thing that they have in common is that they're all photosynthetic. But I'm looking at a membrane remodeling protein that exists in all photosynthetic life, from cyanobacteria to higher plants. And so I'm simultaneously looking at how this protein works in bacteria, but also in diatoms, which are more complex, algae, and higher plants, including Arabidopsis as well. A typical day for me, part of it includes a lot of thinking about planning experiments and thinking about where to go when experiments are giving me results that I find surprising or unusual. So a lot of planning, a lot of reading papers, and sometimes doing practical work as well. There's a pretty 50-50 mix, I would say. Conferences have taken me to the US and to mainland Europe as well. So I've just come back from a conference in Belgium, which was amazing. Belgium is beautiful, and I ate far too many waffles, but it was great. I think one of the best things about conferences is meeting like-minded people who are researching something that's similar to you, and you can share and exchange ideas, which is amazing. But part of that that's really important in making those connections is about just making really good friendships with people. And that includes things like going for dinner together. And if there's someone who's from that place, then you get to know some of the local knowledge, which is really great. And you can find some of the spots that you wouldn't necessarily find on your own, which is really cool. Probably the best piece of advice I could give would be to really consider what you're really interested in and follow that. And if that's in plant sciences, that's fantastic. If it's not, that's fine too. But really stick with that, because I think that's probably the best way that you'll get the most successful career, is if you're really passionate in terms of what we're doing. I think probably the biggest challenge at the moment for plant scientists is global warming. And I think we really need to try and figure out how to do something about that. I think something that's really great about plant science is that there are so many different avenues that people can take to answering those big questions, global warming and climate change being one of them. And I think there's going to be a lot of crosstalk and teamwork between the various different avenues that people are taking. So ecologists and biochemists and geologists, I think, are probably all going to have to really work together to exchange ideas about how we can better come towards a solution that's actually going to change things or make things better, hopefully.